Good morning, team. Diamond Hands Derrick here. So this is a moment where people are going to find out whether they deserve to own Bitcoin or not. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the chart looks super good, but we're going to look at it real quick. And you've definitely seen in the last days, weeks, definitely in the last days, a lot more negative news. There's a lot more negative news going on. What's happening is there's a war now. Now, I published a video not too long ago where I said, hey, so you wanted a free market? You want freedom? Well, guess what? Freedom means that the bad guys can come in. And these Wall Street guys, they are not nice. Okay, these are professional money gatherers, and they'll do whatever it takes. So we're going to see that. We're going to see them doing some crazy things. We're going to see them using their tactics to try to manipulate Bitcoin. And so far, they've been able to do it a little bit. We've got a lot of headwinds here. Let's look at Bitcoin. We'll just start off. Okay, so this was a couple days ago, right here. I was looking at this. We said, hey, it's reverse head and shoulders. Bitcoin should go higher. It did, but it got stopped. And so now we have a downtrend here that we have to keep on the map. Now we got several actually that are in play right now, and they're accelerating, which is not good. And so I'm not going to paint a rosy picture for you, but we have a few different things that are working against us now. Overnight yesterday or late yesterday, we had this level tested multiple times. The good news is you'll see down here at this support, and let's zoom in on a little bit. At this support right here, you see lots of wicks sticking out to the bottom. Technically, that's a good sign. Technically, that's a good sign that bulls are holding the line, buyers are there. You better not have your paper mache hands for this market. Let me just tell you, because they're coming for your Bitcoin. Wall Street's coming for your Bitcoin. Big institutions are coming for your Bitcoin. They're coming for it. They want it. They don't want you to make any money. They don't want you to get rich. They want to scare the shit out of you so you sell it. So you must make a pledge not to sell your Bitcoin, no matter what. Diamond hands. HODL. I will be on here as often as possible reminding you of this because we very well could see Bitcoin go lower. I'm going to show you why. Although I hope that's not the case. What we have right now is we have a couple things. We have this downtrend going on. We have this bigger downtrend up here in orange. You can have to zoom out to kind of see that one. So that's going to be a problem when we get to it. Okay. At some point, we're going to hit that. We're going to get in touch with that. And it's a very good chance that Bitcoin won't react well when it does. We also have this smaller time frame downtrend going on. And then actually, unfortunately, now I have to draw another one, which is going from approximately here down this way. I got to kind of put it in a weird place and then move it. Okay, so about right there. So that's accelerated, which isn't good. Now also right here in the mix of everything that we're looking at, we have all the moving averages. So we have the 25-day to get through first, the 50, and then the 100. We have this downtrend. We have that downtrend. We have that downtrend. We've got a lot of headwinds, team. And trust me, these guys know what they're doing. They're not just willy-nilly, throwing money at the downside. They're not willy-nilly putting, this negative news out there. Why do you think Ethereum has gone up? Okay, let me explain how the Wall Street manipulation works. What they do is they find a stock or a security, or in this case, a coin that represents the overall market. Now, if you want to learn more about how that works, read Jim Cramer's book, Confessions of a Street Addict. This is the first book that he wrote when he got out of Wall Street. It tells you all about all the dirty tricks that hedge funds do. And he lists them out, and he tells you how he would do it, how he'd wake up in the morning at 3:30, and he would do this, and he would set things up, and he would knock down the stock, and then he would buy calls, and there's all these crazy different things that they do. He explains it all in there. And one of the things that they do is they look for the leading stock, the leading security, in this case, the leading coin, and they try to manipulate that because they can't manipulate all of them. So they try to manipulate the leader to scare people, and particularly in this case, because the leader is the one they actually want. This is part of the reason why the stock market has gone up and up and up and up and up, because the leading stocks, the stocks that are leading the market, the Amazons, the Apples, the Teslas, these stocks are doing really well and have really good stories right now. They're hard to knock down. You can't knock them down very easily. Watch what happens. As soon as those stocks have some bad news or there's an opportunity to knock them down, they will take it and they will run the whole market down with that. And so this is what they're trying to do with Bitcoin right now. And they're having a hard time, fortunately. I'm really, really impressed that Bitcoin has held these levels. The other thing that's working against us is this is definitely a bear flag. It's a bearish flag. Doesn't look good. Usually when a consolidation happens, the trend continues in the direction it was already headed. In this case, that's lower. So we have that working against us too. But this is the war, the Bitcoin war of 2021 is taking place right now. And you are a part of it. And if you have been taking advantage of some of these dips and making some purchases, congratulations to you. If you have sold this to go buy altcoins and try to get rich on some Dogecoin or some crap, you don't deserve Bitcoin, you paper-handed pansy. No paper hands allowed. This is diamond hands only. And that just means that you're not going to cave to the suits. If you cave to the suits, you're going to be wishing that you hadn't. There's no doubt about it. Now, some people are going to say, well, I sold at 55 and then I bought again at 50, so I'm smart. What's your risk reward for that, though? I mean, does it really make a difference whether you own Bitcoin at 50 or 55 or 42 if it's going to $1 million? Does that really make any difference? Because the way that Wall Street works with this stuff, they pick one thing to go after. They're trying to scare you out of your Bitcoin into altcoins. So there's an altcoin bubble that's going to blow up. Then they're going to run Bitcoin up. Now, when they run Bitcoin up, either you're going to be in already and you're going to be able to take advantage of it, or you're going to miss out on it and you're going to wait for it to come back and it won't. When they take Bitcoin to the moon, they're going to really take it to the moon. And it's going to be quick, violent upside. So whatever you do, don't be short this thing, okay? Even though it looks like, oh, well, there's a lot of setups here for, to be short. There's a lot of setups to sell Bitcoin here. Don't be short. Now, it could be, right now Wall Street is still they're slow. They have to go through regulations. So there's a lot of things going on. They're just trying to tame this. Because if you look back at what was happening, it was getting out of control. We were running away. This is the top, okay? The all-time high, 64,967. Look what was happening. We had this long consolidation period, and then we were firing higher, and it looked great. This was a really good-looking move. It just looked really, really solid. Everything was going terrific for Bitcoin. We had these big moves up. Yeah, we had some pullbacks, but that's normal. That's what Bitcoin does. Big moves up, a little bit of pullback, great consolidation here, which continued for a while, and then boom, move higher. And that was all super bullish. It was getting out of control, and they had to come in. And you can see a lot of that starting to happen here. I can put the volume on there as well. You can see what happens. And so, we're looking at this. Come on, team. Let's get you a better look at this. So they come in and immediately start employing their tactics. Okay, we've got to stop this. Okay, because the real Wall Street investors, the clients of the Wall Street sales organ, they aren't going to be able to get in this thing for another couple of months. And a lot of these things, like this ETF, may not get approved until these ETFs may not get approved until the end of the year. So that's a long time. That's a long time to let this thing run up to 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand before Wall Street gets in. They can't let that happen. And so right now there's a war going on. And the first bomb that got fired was on Saturday night, late on a Saturday night. They did this to it. Remember that? That was the first thing. When I saw that, I was like, okay, it's on. They are really, for real, coming after this thing. Because that was just a blowout. All this stuff here, yeah, there's FUD out there. Yeah, there's negative news. You're going to continue to see more of that. You're going to continue to also see the government say things. That was one of the, just rumors from the White House that they're talking about regulation of Bitcoin. Don't forget, that's a good thing. That's going to allow the ETFs to get approved, which is going to bring so much more money into this thing. Diamond hands, team, diamond hands. Back to this action here. So we have this accelerating downtrend right here, which is not ideal. Not ideal at all. And so this support level right here that's held up for us, this is just going to, eventually these are going to connect. We're just going to have to see which one of these, that you get the picture. something's got to happen here. And with all the moving averages above where we are priced right now at 54,500, it doesn't look good, guys. Like I'm just going to tell you, this is not a good looking chart. If this were anything but Bitcoin, you would want to be short this chart. And I don't think that we're going to see the Wall Street run up for months and months. And that's why I'm encouraging diamond hands. HODL, purchase a little bit. I was able to sniper a few things in the overnight, which was cool. We got one, and the way that I set those up, we were talking about those yesterday or the day before, you just set up those little buy orders. I like to buy the Bitcoin at 0.05 at a time. And sometimes, even less, 0.025. So I'll buy them in those small increments and just set the buy orders in there. So just put your buy orders in at like 54, 53, 52, 51, especially like when you go to sleep. That's the best time to do it because you can't fuck it up. It's very easy to screw it up. It's very easy to, when you're watching it, go, oh, and you move your targets around, or you see it going down really quick and you're like, oh, I don't want to buy it anymore. That takes all that away. So there are, some different indicators. There are some different technical analysis that people are saying, hey, there's a lot of positive things coming. It's not showing up on the chart, but we have a lot of Bitcoin getting taken out of the exchanges. We have a supply issue. But if we really had a supply issue, the price would be going higher. So we don't have a supply issue right now. What we have is we have a rotation. The rotation that's taking place is we are having money go from the smaller guys who bought Bitcoin, who, were hoping to see it go, to $1 million in 2 months. And, they bought it after Elon got in and after Michael Saylor started making the rounds, and they started watching some videos and going, man, this is bullish. And they got in. Maybe they even got in at 60,000. Maybe they got in at 55,000 and now they're at break even and like, you know what? I've still got my money. Let me get out of here. Let me go find the next Bitcoin. That's what retail traders tend to do. They tend to say, I'm getting out of Bitcoin. It's too expensive. I want to go buy something else. I'm going to buy Litecoin, Ethereum. If I'm interested in like a paper coin, or I'm going to go start buying some garbage like Dogecoin or whatever else. And in the hopes that I can get rich off of $5,000. And that's just not likely to happen. It's just not likely to happen. Most likely you're going to chase Bitcoin down later when you see it make its big move. And, now you're being manipulated by Wall Street. You have fallen for it. They want you out of this and into those altcoins. They aren't going to touch those altcoins. They want you to go all in on those. Bitcoin is the crown jewel. Bitcoin is the king. And so they're going to come for that. And that's what's happening. That's it. So, yeah, we have a lot of headwinds, but here's the good news. You ready for some good news? So here's the good news. The good news is the good news is that it won't take a huge, because all of these resistance levels are in a relatively short space, it wouldn't take a huge amount of buying power to blast right through all of them. It wouldn't. So all these moving averages being close, even though, they're like, here's the 25, here's the 50, here's the 100, and we're down here. Okay, this red dotted line. So they're all right above us. They're really close. And that typically means that's going to sell off. And the problem with this support level here is that we've knocked on that door several times and it is probably going to fail. I hope it doesn't, but it is probably going to fail. Bitcoin is probably going to go lower than this because of this headwind, because of this downtrend, because of these moving averages. Now, if not though, if the buyers come in, if we get a big buyer, if someone on the other side of the trade that's in the wind with Wall Street, if they come in and buy a bunch of Bitcoin here, then we could blast right through that. And that would be super bullish. You could blow out a ton of stops. Okay, right above here. Just brrr. We would still have this downtrend to deal with. But at least we could get on the other side of the moving averages. I think that's the best case scenario for us here, is to get on the other side of these moving averages and then take the battle with just the last couple pieces of resistance there. But I do fully expect us to see another one of these events in the near future to try to take this down another leg. And they're going to wait. Okay. Wall Streeters, these hedge fund guys, this big money that is trying to transfer the wealth that should be yours into their wallet, into their client's wallet. They know what they're doing, and they'll do it at the right time, and they'll do it with a ton of resources. They'll run massive short campaigns against Bitcoin, simultaneously running tons of negative news stories. You're going to see some negative news stories that come out that look canned. And what I mean by that is that they've been in the can. They've already produced the interview. They've already planned it. Maybe it is a live interview or something like that, but it's something they've already planned the information. Oh, hey, we just found out that this has happened with someone who has Bitcoin and it's causing a lot of problems in their lives. Like you're going to see like canned looking stories like that, which are designed to be placed at a certain time. So right when they begin their downtrend campaign, they're going to stick that out there first, and then they're going to hit the down button, and it'll flow. It'll make sense to the public. They'll think, oh well, people are selling because of this news. No, it's all just a coordinated attack. That's all you need to know. It's a coordinated attack to turn your diamond hands into paper mache, and it's important. It's crucial for you, for your family, and for the Bitcoin community that you HODL. Okay, diamond hands only. All right, team. That's just what I wanted to get out to you today. We can take a look at the daily as well. And it's always good to zoom out. It's always good to zoom out and see, what this really looks like on a daily. On a daily, technically, if this is our low right here for this cycle, and this is where we have some good news, this is still a higher low. It's a lower low than this one right here, which this is just kind of a, these little arcs right here, just sort of natural move higher. It's a really, really bullish, actually this is kind of bearish, but when you see it going the other direction, it's very, very bullish. In this case, it worked out for Bitcoin really well. This is a daily chart. They operate a little bit differently. And then, so we do have a higher low. So we have this right here. So we have, and these are the ones that stick out, right? Low, higher low, still higher low. If we can move higher from here. So technically, it is still possible for Bitcoin to win, but this is the real war against Wall Street is, can Bitcoin avoid being manipulated? Can it be? We're going to find out this year. This year is going to be the year where that determination takes place. So HODL strong, team. Expect more tough days ahead. I hope I'm wrong, but be prepared. Have a good one.